Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce, but you still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
The one factor related to him being a danger to the community, the other factor being how he would potentially obstruct witnesses. Now, critical in the prosecutor's arguments at those previous hearings was the fact that there's this tape that everyone has seen, and they said, prosecutors did, that tape was in the context of a freak-off. It was in the context of sex trafficking.
Diddy's legal team is in a frenzy due to shocking new allegations that were just made about what he allegedly did to Aaron Carter. Rumor has it that they're expecting the worst, believing Diddy won't be able to escape this unnoticed. There are rumors that
was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody. If some of the accusations are true, that kind of covers things. You know, when folks vanish.
Let's face it, not many people believe that Aaron Carter actually drowned in his bathtub in 2022. After all, how can a mature man simply drown like that in his own house?
With Diddy, it's hard for me to truly get invested in what's happening to Liam Payne right now because I haven't gotten over what happened to Nick. Nick's brother, Aaron Carter.
Right.
A lot of people keep forgetting Aaron Carter was begging for help, begging for independent financing, begging for...
This is where things start to go crazy. According to rumors 3 years ago, Aaron was about to reveal some significant information on Diddy's alleged freak-offs, but he abruptly vanished before he could do so. The timing is really suspect. Later, we'll examine that shocking revelation. However, things are quickly becoming heated as more people come forward to expose Diddy's supposed troubled history.
Of the testimony in the sex trafficking trial against Sean Combs ended with a former member of one of Combs' musical groups on the witness stand. Dawn Richard says that she saw Combs attack Cassie Ventura in 2009. Richard is suing Combs in federal court, accusing him of sexual assault and battery. She'll be back on the witness stand on Monday. Richard's civil lawsuit is still pending.
A number of serious accusations are dragging Diddy's name through the mud. According to authorities, he was operating a covert operation behind the scenes, transferring people across states while concealing large sums of money and abusing his celebrity for a variety of dubious purposes. Additionally, he is being criticized for reportedly hitting his former partner. And now everyone in the nation is observing his every action.
People are watching. They need to remember trials involve humans, and humans are messy. So you don't have any purity tests in terms of your witness is on the stand and has never done anything wrong, or your defendant is on the stand and has never done anything right. There's a lot going on both sides, and it really is up to the jury to ferret that out as long as they are given the right facts and the proper instructions from them.
Within a week, the floodgates had exploded. More alarming allegations have emerged, and those who know him are at last coming up. Former workers have spoken forward and shared inside information. Dawn, Richard, and Cassie's closest friend have also taken the stand, and their statements are quite upsetting.
Chloe, we know Cassie Ventura's former best friend is also testifying today. What has she said so far?
So her name is Carrie Gordon, and when Cassie Ventura was on the stand last week, she talked a lot about this friend of hers that witnessed a lot of the abuse and that this was someone that she confided in. And Miss Gordon, she's already taken the stand for a few hours. Right now they're on a lunch break and she's expected to return this afternoon. And she said, look, I don't really even want to be here. I was given a subpoena. I'm forced to be here to testify. I haven't spoken to Combs or Miss Ventura since 2018, and that's because Combs assaulted.
Curtain on Diddy's crimes that they discovered. And it's crazy. His attorneys are fiercely defending themselves and doing all in their power to put an end to it.
Properties associated with him. We saw the feds descend on those properties. We saw on aerial footage federal agents both here in the Los Angeles area as well as in Miami at those residences. Now, the Department of Homeland Security, their what's called HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, gave CNN a statement. I'll read you part of that when asked about what this activity is. They say that earlier today, HSI New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement
Feds had collected, at least in part. We also learned the charges that Diddy faced: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. And again, Diddy's pleaded not guilty and denies those allegations. But this indictment, this OG indictment, which by the way, there's been a couple of superseding ones, adding a couple charges here and there. Anyway, going back to the holy grail of it all, the original indictment, that's where we learned about what was collected, including all of that lube and baby oil.
Aaron Carter's name was dropped in court throughout the trial week. That's correct. Aaron Carter, who tragically died in 2022, Aaron had been vocally criticizing the dubious aspects of the music business prior to his passing. He claimed in tweets and videos that influential people were attempting to intimidate, dominate, and deprive him of any authority over his own life. Everyone in the courtroom was whispering because of the link and timing.
They said that there were controlled substances used, and this was specifically to allegedly keep the victims obedient and compliant. The feds also state that during these freak-off situations, recording devices were used. Now, sometimes the people involved in the freak-offs, allegedly, didn't know that they were being recorded. And then other times, Diddy and his team, allegedly, would use these recordings as revenge porn and say, hey, if you come forward and report this to anyone, we've got this really embarrassing video. Why would you do that? So that's an allegation too. The feds also say that IV fluids were used in all of this, specifically because the people involved in the freak-offs had to recover from physical exertion and drug.
My Twitter, and I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn.
Aaron Carter was found dead in a bathtub in his home in Los Angeles last November. Since that time, TMZ has reported the LA County coroner did not find water in his lungs, meaning he didn't drown. Carter's mother, Jane Schneck, posted photos on Facebook that show the bathroom where her son was found. She wrote on Facebook, because of my son's mental illness and prescription drug issues, they, the cops, just wanted it to be something easy that they didn't have the time or inclination to address. Schneck wants a more thorough investigation. She wrote that her son was receiving threats from many people, and she believes there were people out there who wanted to harm.
Dropped a bomb. They said that Aaron Carter had attempted to raise awareness of the dubious activities taking on behind closed doors. Although the attorneys didn't explicitly state that Diddy was responsible for Aaron Carter's passing, they did imply that the peculiar manner in which he passed away made many question whether there was more to the story than what we've been told.
They haven't come back with toxicology results yet. So at this point, and as you know, medical examiners and coroners are, I don't want to use the term notorious, but it takes time for these things to be fully realized because these tests take time. You don't, in a death investigation, you don't want things hurried up. And it seems as though some parties that are involved in this case want it sped up. And that's the most dangerous thing.
Diddy's case causing online chatter over the shocking discovery. The rapper's attorney telling all to TMZ as the outlet dives deep into the ongoing trial in their documentary, The Downfall of Diddy, The Indictment, streaming on Tubi.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for.
Yeah, it's the number of bottles going viral on social media, with Diddy's longtime nemesis, 50 Cent, dropping this meme on X. Meanwhile, Diddy's defense team offers this explanation.
I mean, he has a big house, he buys in bulk. I think they have Costco's in every place where he has a home. Have you sat in a parking lot of a Costco and see what people walk out of there with?
TMZ reached out to Costco. Their rep says none of their U.S. locations carry baby oil.
He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent. And we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any longer. We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I don't think it was 1,000. Let's just say it's a lie, okay?
That courtroom. It had a strong vibe. Diddy's legal team stepped up. His top lawyer told the judge that the entire case was a setup, claiming that the feds were using past rumors and media rumors to paint Diddy in a bad light. The conflict is rapidly intensifying.
Critical to his denial on bail were really two factors. The one factor related to him being a danger to the community. The other factor being how he would potentially obstruct witnesses. Now, critical in the prosecutor's arguments at those previous hearings was the fact that there's this tape that everyone has seen, and they said, prosecutors did, that tape was in the context of a freak-off. It was in the context of sex trafficking. It was in the context of him being violent as it related to that count in the indictment against Miss Ventura, right, who's referred to as victim one. Here now comes the defense saying, hey, by the way, the prosecution has misled you, court. This had nothing to do with a freak-off, as is alleged, which were the parties that he was allegedly having, that is P. Diddy, with all of these instances going on with coerced sexual activity, etc., had nothing to do with that. It also had nothing to do with sex trafficking. This was a domestic dispute. Now, it doesn't make the violence in the tape, Boris, any more tenable, right? Violence is violence. It shouldn't have happened, but it gives it context. Now, when you get down to the manipulation of the tape, the reordering of the tape, did you mislead the court? If they did, that's a factual question. A judge won't be too happy. Second brief point, and that is they're also arguing, the defense team, that there's the issue concerning his ability to prepare and be ready for trial. If you're going through and rummaging through his notes and other records that are attorney-client privileged and peeping at them and looking at them and using them against them, how could he prepare for trial?
It was confirmed that Diddy was truly deeply evil. The evidence was right there. It was the final piece of the puzzle revealing that Diddy had spent his entire life taking advantage of others to the point where his music empire was nothing but a front for his sick obsessions. At the same time, though, Diddy's arrest somehow created a lot more questions than it answered. We all knew he was a bad guy. Don't get me wrong, but now we're realizing that it went so much deeper, with Diddy starting to look like his sick, disturbing crimes might rival those of Jeffrey Epstein or Harvey Weinstein. Not just one bad actor, but instead the leader of a criminal operation carrying out revolting abuse and exploitation.
And all that freak-off sex, according to the defense, they say it was consensual. They said that Diddy's love of baby oil, and this was actually a quote, they said the love of baby oil was not a federal crime.
Is going to call Ventura's former best friend. We heard a lot about her last week. Her name is Carrie Morgan. She's expected to testify. And Ventura testified she was friends with Morgan before she met Combs and was friends with her throughout the relationship until Ventura said Combs hit Morgan, and that ended their friendship. So Morgan expected to be a prosecution witness who will corroborate some of what Ventura has said. After that, they're going to call a couple of people who worked for Combs, including a former personal assistant, a former chef. Prosecution said they also expect to call an escort this week, as well as Ventura's mother. Ventura has testified.
Was Mr. Combs made aware of these discussions? Richard responding, yes. How did he respond? Richard telling the court that Combs told her, stay the expletive out of my relationship. Y'all expletives are here to work. Stay out of my expletive relationship. The singer also testifying that after a 2009 skillet attack against Ventura, Combs told her the next day that Cassie was okay, and if we said anything, people could go missing. Prosecutors asking Richard, what do you take that to mean? Richard answering, that we could die.
The heat is building fast. More eyes are locked on this trial.
Also Monday, federal prosecutors releasing evidence in the case for the very first time. Baby oil in Ziploc bags and pictures of Ventura's injuries, including a fat lip after the 2016 hotel assault. Today, we also heard from Carrie Morgan. She and Cassie Ventura were best friends almost 20 years. She testified that after that 2016 hotel attack, that Sean Combs came to Cassie Ventura's home. He was beating on her front door with a hammer. They never answered the door on that, and they say their friendship came to an end in 2018 when she said she was assaulted by Combs, and Cassie Ventura told her she was over-exaggerating and milking it.
Is missing out on major moments in his kids' lives. As the music mogul's federal trial continues in New York, Combs' 18-year-old twin daughters Delilah and Jessie enjoy their senior prom in Los Angeles. The pair arrive fashionably late to the Harbor House in downtown LA May 17th. The girls, famously known for always wearing coordinating outfits, both don strapless sparkly red gowns and matching rose corsages as they smile and pose for pics on their big night.
It's still too early to tell how this wild ride is going to end, but one thing's for sure. Week 1 flipped the whole game. The public's locked in, the music industry's sweating bullets, and Diddy's in the fight of his life, and we're just getting started.
The entire world is seeing it happen in real time. What do you anticipate happening next in this crazy trial? Post your opinions in the comments section. Remember to press the bell, like, subscribe, and share so you don't miss a second of the drama. See you at the next one.
Week 2 is shaping up to be even crazier, with more witnesses ready to speak and the court possibly dropping fresh files, unseen videos, or even big names that could blow the case wide open again. Diddy's legal crew is swinging hard, but the government, they're not backing down one bit. Nobody knows where this is headed, but the whole world's watching it unfold in real time. So, what do you think is coming next in this insane trial? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell so you don't miss a second of the drama. Catch you on the next one.